So hi, we're here with Tony Nogueras and Nicole Kartchner of Alliance Drawback Services here in beautiful St. Petersburg, Florida today. So really appreciate you guys spending some time with us and giving us a little bit of the story of your company and what's going on in the drawback world.
The company was founded in 2001 and literally in my basement. Took out a home equity loan on my house in Marin County. So the kids were still relatively young at the time. Failure was not an option, is all I have to say. I'd say the first 10 years of the company, we were growing at a steady pace, adding quite a few different businesses in different industries and so forth. But we were still what I would call a entrepreneurial driven company, more of a lifestyle company. And then that started to change and evolve a bit, I would say about 7 or 8 years ago, specifically. And part of that involved Nicole joining the company.
Right. And so you've been drawn into this crazy industry after a few years. And actually we had to kind of postpone the interview a little bit because Nicole was on a call with a major customer about their foreign trade zone issues and stuff. Hard at work and just doing it all day long, right?
Yeah, who knew that I would go from nursing to the logistics drawback realm. No one really knows that this area exists. I think now they have one degree in like one college somewhere that actually is geared towards logistics, or trade compliance.
Trade compliance, yeah.
Trade compliance,
right.
But other than that, like everyone falls into this degree. No one graduates from college saying, I'm going to be in trade compliance. So.
Yeah, we used to say that all the time too. Nobody grows up wanting to be a freight forwarder, right? I mean, we all just drawback specialists, right? We all just kind of fall into this industry and then you get hooked and here you are, I think 30 years later or something. So, and you were mentioning, Tony, that one of the big changes over the last 25 years of drawback is the introduction of data analytics, now becoming the driving factor in things. And
exactly.
So much of the industry, whether it's drawback or customs brokerage or forwarding, has really started to be driven off data and analytics. What are some of the other changes over the last 25 years that you've seen, or what are some of the major challenges that you're facing today?
Oh gosh, how much time do we have? So for the most part, drawback over the 25 years has been relatively static. We've had some changes here and there to the statute, to the regulatory structure, and then the Trade Facilitation and Enforcement Act happened in 2016, okay, when it was signed into law. And the purpose of this collaboration was to simplify, make drawback more accessible, and more administratively efficient, both for the trade community as well as Customs and Border Protection. Okay. Drawback's always been a bit of a labyrinth. It's convoluted, it's complex. A lot of companies avoid it. The trade compliance bar can be rather hard and high when it comes to just complying with the regulatory structure. So the objective of this process was to simplify it. And the first place you have to start is with the statute, with the laws. Right. So in the midst of this change that occurred to the drawback law that put a lot more potential recovery on the table, then all of a sudden the Trump administration places punitive tariffs in the form of Section 301 on 25% on 400 billion of imports. Anyone in the tariff mitigation business, this is our moment. We're rock star status at the moment.
Right.
So we had these TIA changes that put more money on the table, and we were expanding our operations to accommodate some of that.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, some of our existing business, their programs increased by a factor of 25%.
Right.
We've really tried to push into data and data analytics more to be able to better identify opportunities for our clients and find ways to maximize their recovery. And it's been much more difficult when the volume increases. And Tony said 25%. I would say more like 500%. We're going from $1 million to $25 million for some of these companies that were paying almost no duties, and now they're paying $50 million in duties. So, a lot more opportunity, which means you have to be able to analyze huge data sets with millions and millions of lines of data.
Do you find that young people coming into the industry now are kind of as willing to go out and get their customs brokerage license and some of those tools that have always been kind of that? Nicole, I know that you have your customs brokerage license and achieved that.
I think it's a mixed bag. They're entering a position that's analytics driven, and until they have that vision and see some of the same things that Fritz, we hope to instill here, to show them that, and talk about that this is a career and this is something that it could change your life.
So I have to ask, so what's in store for Alliance moving forward?
We've been transitioning and scaling the company now for a solid, I'd say 3 or 4 years ago we had the conversation. These tortilla changers are coming down the pike. Do we want to, and for the most part, we were a lifestyle and entrepreneurial driven company. We'd achieved a certain level of growth, we were stable, we were successful, and we made a decision to sort of reinvest, almost like starting again.
Yeah.
And to a certain degree, it felt even a bit riskier.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, I know what I've got. Now do I want to?
Right.
Sure.
And so we decided that it was time to scale the company and play a larger game. And that started in all seriousness, like I said, about 3 or 4 years ago. And that's looked like adding quite a bit of staff. I'm not wearing nearly as many hats. We have a business manager now, and an HR manager, and dedicated salespeople, and have enhanced our operations. And it's worked. So, we've expanded dramatically. The growth curve has been pretty steep.
So I'd be remiss. I saw this your coffee mug here, and it's actually awesome. And the writing on the back says, "Duty drawback is like riding a bike, except the bike is on fire, and you're on fire, and everything else is on fire, and you're in hell." So is that the way you would describe the world of drawback?
Well, I know that there are a lot of customs brokers out there that they could engage drawback if they wanted to. And sometimes just a mere mention of the term drawback, just you see the look of fear and terror in their eyes. So it sort of plays on the reputation, I think, that drawback has had a little bit in the industry, because it's a bit, of a specialty in common.
Sure.
I think a lot of our clients feel like that, so
it's great.
Funny. And but really, it's that we want to absorb some of that hell from them.
Yes.
We'll take on the burning fire that is your drawback program, and put out the fire.
That's awesome. No, that's great. I just had to get that into our little discussion here, because I got such a big kick out of that when I saw it before.
Dave, it's great to see you again. It's been a long time. I thought we always had a great sort of rapport back
absolutely.
in the Fritz days. And when you called me and we had a conversation, and I was intrigued by this whole concept of this sort of road show that you have going on. And tell me a little bit about that.
Hey, thanks for asking. This is the second year that we've done the official, RV North American tour. The first year was last year. We had to stop in early March because of COVID. So we made the decision to start it again this year, and we're very fortunate. I think that our timing is starting to happen as things are opening up. And it really evolved out of, our CEO, Eric Seaman, having a love for music and being based in Asia, wanting to come tour around the US to meet with people. And over the years, it's just kind of grown. It's grown into this kind of formal tour now, where we have this logoed RV and we show up, and half the people think we're a little bit nuts, and half the people find it interesting.
Yeah.
So the tour has a couple different, reasons for being. Obviously, there's a business reason, but also there's a, kind of philanthropic reason to try to take our good fortune and maybe spread it around a little bit. And this year, again, mentioning Eric's love of music, we did an OW Logistics CD.
Okay.
That's really cool, actually, and it has a number of really great songs on it, and it's kind of packaged.
We'll be the judge of that.
So yeah, we should. You open a bottle of wine, right? You open a bottle of the Al wine, and you listen to some music, and send us a selfie, and we'll definitely make a contribution to the girls' orphanage in Sri Lanka. Thanks again for taking the time with us today. I know everybody's busy schedule. To take the time out to kind of sit and chat with us for a while is really appreciated, and good luck going forward. I know you guys are going to continue to just knock it out of the park, and I'm really impressed with what you guys have built here and your capabilities, and there's no doubt that we'll definitely be talking to any of our customers that have a need for drawback. We know who to refer them to.
Oh, that's very kind of you. We appreciate it. Yeah, no, it's our pleasure. It's not like we get a lot of media play here in the drawback industry. So.